Morning, Miss Peterson.
Hello.
So we're here to talk to you. Your 21 question interview. Question number 1. What fictional place would you like to go to most?
I think Stars Hollow. For those of you who are Gilmore Girl fans, you will know I would love to go hang out with Lorelai. I think that would be fun.
What's worth spending more on to get the best?
Purses. It's the only thing I spend a lot of money on, to have a really nice purse, but I only have one.
What fact about the world still surprises you?
I think that it would have to be that I still don't understand why we can't be kind to one another. Why there's so much hate still in the world. Why racism still exists. I do not understand why that all still is happening.
What's the best book or series that you've ever read?
It's a really hard question for an English teacher. I'd have to go with my all-time favorite book is called Their Eyes Were Watching God. And when I was in college, I read it. I had to do an independent study, and one of my focuses in college was 12th century literature. And so there was this author called Marie de France, and I paralleled her, what she wrote about in the 12th century and how women were portrayed, to this book. And I fell in love with this book. So it's on my bookshelf over there.
What TV channel doesn't exist but really should?
I have no idea. There's like 700 television channels in the world. I can't imagine there's something they have not thought about. Maybe a channel that could give us sleep. That would be awesome, because I could use more sleep.
That's true. What have you only recently formed an opinion about?
I guess that would have to be a personal question. So that's, for me, that letting go of anger, even though it's hard to forgive people, is better for me than feeling that anger. It's not good for me. So finding a way to forgive, I guess that's something that I'm working on.
Good. If you had a personal flag, what would be on it?
I guess my family, my dog, the beach, and then my favorite place in the world is Catalina. So probably Catalina.
What's the biggest lesson you've ever learned?
Biggest lesson I've ever learned? I don't know. I guess it's learning to be true to yourself, because you're never going to make everyone happy. You can't please everyone, but you have to really, at the end of the day, look in the mirror and be happy with yourself. So finding a way, to be true to who you are, no matter what's happening around you and whether, it's the popular thing to do.
What's the most annoying habit that other people have?
Okay, anyone who's been my student knows my answer to this question. Chewing gum.
Been there. What age do you wish you could live in permanently?
It's a hard question. I'd like to say younger, because then your body's young, but I think that it would have to be somewhere around my late 30s, because that's when I really started caring less about what other people thought of me and just doing what I knew was the best thing for me to do.
What lie do you tell the most often?
If I say the words, "that's fine," it really isn't fine, but I'm gonna let it go. That's more with my husband. Shh, don't tell him.
What are 3 interesting facts about you that your students don't know?
Okay, I worked in travel for 6 years. And so I started when I was in high school. I worked part-time after school. And when I graduated high school, they sent me to the islands in Tahiti for 2 weeks as a graduation present. And while I was there, I swam with sharks. I would never do that again, but I did it. And then the other big career I had before this is day camps. I was a camp counselor, and actually nobody here knows this, but I was a camp counselor along with Mr. Voigt. He ran the sports, and I had the 12-year-old girls. Camp Fraser, Irvine. About 25 years ago. Shh, we're not that old.
That's really interesting. What do you consider your biggest accomplishment?
My daughter. Being a mom, Definitely challenging, completely rewarding. I love being her mom. So
sweet. What job would you be terrible at and why?
waitressing. I would drop food and drinks all over everyone. I cannot carry a cup of water from here to there. No balance.
Why did you become a teacher?
You know, it took me a long time to figure out what I wanted to do. If you've been in my Avid class, I've told you these stories, but I really wasn't sure at all. And it was more like me taking community college. I did that for 4 years and kind of taking classes I liked. I really realized that English was my passion, and then I was working with teenagers in the camps. So I ran a program for the teenagers who wanted to volunteer at the camp, so I was always working with teenagers, and I just realized that those two things could go together in teaching. I initially wanted to teach high school, but I started at a middle school and loved it, and I did. I loved their energy. I taught 7th grade for 14 years, and then when I came here, I realized high schoolers are much more sane.
If all jobs had have the same pay and the same hours, would you still be a teacher or would you be something else?
I like my job. I really can't imagine doing anything else. And, you know, I talk to my Avid kids about finding a career that's meaningful and that you look forward to and you don't dread. I had an office job for a long time that I dreaded going to, and I never wanted that again. And you guys know, I laugh all day long here. It's so much fun. So I enjoy it.
Great. And what's the best part about being a teacher?
You guys. It really is.
I feel love. Is there anything you wish you could teach?
You know, I like what I teach now. I think if I think over, this is my 22nd year, 22 years, the most rewarding experience I had, I taught a class for 7th and 8th graders who were years behind in their reading level. And they were so afraid of trying that they would do anything they could to avoid reading. And that I had them in a class and I just told them that I believe they could, that they had to try. We read books together. I gave them strategies. We worked one-on-one, small groups. And you know, they fought me the whole way. But then at the end of the year, they had all grown so much. And I had this boy who was in the 7th grade for that class. And I ran into him when he was a freshman in high school. And he stopped me in the market and he's like, Miss McDaniel, because it was back then. And he's like, I wanted you to know I got into honors English for 9th grade at Segerstrom. He's like, and I never could have done that without you. And for me, that's like, that's it. That's the magic. That's why I'm here.
Is there any part of this job that scares you?
I can't imagine not having my sarcasm as my tool of defense against you.
What were you like as a student at our age?
I was really lazy. I didn't like homework. I didn't like studying. I paid attention a lot in class, and so I could kind of skate by. I think I got mostly B's. I could have done so much better if I applied myself, but that wasn't how I was when I was your age. So see, you can change.
Gives us hope. Which students stay on your mind even after they graduated?
I think those are the ones that I have a personal connection with. You know, I like having my students 2 years in a row, well, half of them. I really develop a deeper bond during Avid, and you know, through writing letters of rec and sharing their self-assessments. I feel like I get to know a lot more about my students when they're in my junior Avid class. And, you know, it's kind of neat once people graduate, those that reach out to me and stay in touch and come back and visit. Those are really the ones I think that I'd have to say. But I love them all. I've had a lot of you. I don't always remember your name, but I still care.
Well, thank you. That was really touching. That's all for today.
Yay! Stop taping now.